90.
Brother died 2 weeks ago. I just found something terrifying he left in his room. I really loved my brother, but when I heard the news of the car accident, I started smiling. A great weight had been lifted. I was relieved. I didn't need to worry about my brother Tyler anymore. Tyler was a very different kid. When he was 6 years old, he decided to run me over on a plastic motorcycle. I was only 2 at the time, screaming as he slammed into me and broke my leg. I was in a cast for months. I still have nightmares about all the things he did to me. Like when I showed Tyler how one of my baby teeth had started to come loose. And he responded by slowly tearing it straight out of my mouth, pulling at the root as tears welled up in my eyes. He proceeded to decapitate all my stuffed animals, saying, "If you rat on me to Mom and Dad, I'll do this to you too." But when my parents saw my bloody mouth, I broke down in tears and told them, "You broke a promise with me. Now for all eternity, you're going to burn," said Tyler when he found out I snitched on him. That's what happens when you break a promise to the Alpha Bro. At night, I'd picture myself stuck in a hellscape. I was too young to know any better. It felt real. I was convinced for years that it was true, that I was destined for endless suffering. I was always burning in those dreams. But sometimes I was suffocating too. And then I'd wake up to Tyler sitting over me, laughing as I futilely tried to remove his hands from my mouth and nose. He relented only when I was on the brink of passing out. This went on for years. He would suffocate me, beat me, everything you could think of. But when I was in 3rd grade, this all changed. He told me something that stuck with me forever. "You'll be seeing less of me soon," he said. "I'm going to be busy with high school in a year and then I'm going off to college. But I want you to know that I'm never going to forget about you." "What do you mean?" I asked. He glared at me with his icy blue eyes. "I'm going to be building a torture chamber. I'm going to work on it slowly over many years. It's going to have saws and needles and pits of bugs that will eat out your eyes. You're eventually going to convince yourself that I'm lying. You'll think this was just a big joke. But one day you'll be living your life and then all at once you'll pass out and wake up to see me in front of you." Eventually I got old enough to doubt what he had told me. I knew that it was implausible for him to actually be constructing what he'd described. He didn't know how to make something like that. And even if he did, my parents would take it away. That's why I was so relieved when I heard about the car crash that caused his death. I still had nightmares about him. Occasionally I'd sense that I was being watched, and out of the corner of my eye I'd catch a glimpse of my brother in the shadows. I was going insane. My mother called begging me to come visit her. I wasn't eager to go to the same house Tyler had tormented me in for so long, but I owed it to her after skipping Tyler's funeral. I thought too about how lonely she must be without Dad around anymore. Jeremy was called into work that morning, so I pulled up alone to my childhood home. Blinds stretched across a large window to Tyler's room that loomed over the driveway. I spoke with my mother for a few hours. I held my tongue as she praised Tyler and cherished her memories of him. I tried talking to her about Tyler once a few years ago when I was home from college. She looked at me blankly for a moment and then told me that she didn't understand why I'd lie about him like that. The visit continued. Eventually I told my mother that I wanted to go upstairs alone and see my old room. In truth, I had another goal. There was a different door that I felt I needed to open. I needed to confirm with my own eyes that my darkest fear was not true. As I slowly climbed the main staircase, a forgotten memory resurfaced of me toppling down it. I remembered Tyler pushing me, followed by me convincing my parents that it was an accident. I walked through the second floor.